Hey everyone, it's Melinda with Tailored and Teal, and welcome back to another What Sold video. These are sales on Poshmark, Mercari, and eBay from September 1st through September 15th of 2024. The first couple of days of September, I didn't have any sales, but it was Labor Day weekend, so I think that might have had something to do with it. Thankfully, the sales did kind of pick up, and it seems like I'm getting more momentum the further along the month goes, so that is good news, especially for fourth quarter, which is right around the corner. So I did have one sale on Mercari this time. This was a free to me item. These are a pair of boots that I picked up at Kohl's years and years and years ago. This is the brand Jelly Pop, and they were a black faux leather Vita strappy moto ankle boots. That was their style name, was Vita, Veda, and they sold for $7.70. I definitely got them on clearance at Kohl's, I'm sure, because I rarely buy anything that's not on sale or on clearance. And there were zero fees because sellers do not have to pay fees on Mercari anymore. So my net profit, because there was no cost of goods, was $7.70. Moving on to Poshmark, where I had 6 sales. The first sale was a belt that I definitely thought would sell a lot quicker, but I had it for almost 4 full years. I sourced it off of ThreadUp, and it was in their assorted brands list. The brand was Vita Nuovo, and it was Italian. It was a black genuine leather eagle buckle belt made in Italy. The buckle itself was a little difficult to tell if it was just a bird or if it was an actual eagle, but based off of my research and kind of similar ones that had sold, not the same brand though, I thought that it was an eagle, so I did put that in the title. It had some overlay in it, some like natural stones and things like that. Very beautiful. Definitely thought it would sell a lot quicker, but it finally did sell for $20 with no discounted shipping. Next up is a pair of pants by J. Jill. I picked these up in my local Salvation Army in July of 2023, so it did take over a year for them to sell. This was a new with tags, pure Jill, 100% linen, navy blue, elastic waist, pull-on cropped pants. They sold for $32 with no discounted shipping. Next up was a lot of almost 3 pounds of beads for jewelry making or for crafting. I am considering this a free to me item because these were all items that were in my crafting lot that I do not put into my inventory. I just consider that a free to me item. So someone sent me an offer for $10 and I accepted, and there was no discounted shipping. Next up is a Talbot's skirt that I just purchased in July of this year. It only took a couple months to sell. It was a Talbot's wool blend Donegal tweed A-line knee length skirt, size 12, really nice condition, and it sold for $22 with no discounted shipping. Next up is a pair of shoes that were free to me from my mother-in-law. This was by the brand Rialto, and it was a navy blue Visalia, that was the style name, comfort floral laser cut Mary Jane clogs, and they sold for $18 with no discounted shipping. And then the last thing to sell on Poshmark was a Gap Factory red A-line flared cotton quilted textured skirt. This is one of the oldest items I have in my inventory. It came from a reseller mystery box that I probably got off of Mercari. I've had it in my inventory since May of 2020, ready to see it go. Finally, it sold for $9, no shipping discounts, and I made a profit of 66 cents off of it. Very happy to see it go. So of my 6 Poshmark sales, I had $111 in sales, $24.30 in fees. I gave out no shipping discounts, giving me a profit of $86.70. My average sales price for each item that sold was $18.50. Now moving on to eBay, where I had 9 sales. The first sale was another thing that is very, very, very old in my inventory. This has actually been in inventory since 2019, the first year I started reselling. This came out of a bulk liquidation lot. It was all like Target returns. It wasn't a fantastic box. I definitely did make some money off of it, but I definitely wouldn't buy something like that again. This was the last thing to sell from that box, and it was a new with tags Heyday 6-foot Android USB-C charging cable. It sold for $4, and that was an offer the customer sent to me. I did lose money on this item, but it was only 89 cents. Happy to see it go. I honestly don't even know if this fits any Android phones currently or if they were buying it for an older model, but I'm happy that it's out of my house now. Next up is a recycled, upcycled jewelry, art, silver tone, rhinestone, heart-shaped canvas. I did also use the keyword bridal. This is actually something I created from all of my crafting jewelry. About 2 years ago, I really wanted to get into making the Christmas tree with all of the jewelry and rhinestones and crafting things. Those can sell for a pretty penny, but I just decided to do something simple and do a heart. And I thought I did a really good job at it. And finally, it sold for $18.39. And I don't know what the person ended up using it for, but I imagined in my head like a bridal shower or a bachelorette party. So hopefully they were able to use it in some capacity like that. Or maybe they're just displaying it because they liked it so much. The next sale was a free to me item. This was a vintage die cast miniature antique finished Statue of Liberty pencil sharpener. This was part of my mom's collection, and she used to have a lot more of them when I was younger. I have no idea where the rest of them went, and I don't know why this was the only one that was left behind, but it was. I wasn't sure if I wanted to list it because the comps were just not great. We're talking like $5 and under, but it was in really good condition. It had the original box, so I decided to list it, and it sold for $6.39. Next up is another free to me item. This was also something I found while cleaning out my mom's estate. And actually, this was in the garage in a bunch of my uncle's stuff that he used to collect, and he's been gone for 10 plus years now. So this was an antique 1913 How to Talk Business to Win hardcover book, and it was by A.W. Shaw Company. This went all the way to Las Vegas, and it sold to someone who does a lot of sales and does like sales summits. I don't want to say he's like a motivational speaker, but he's like a mentor about how to sell better and things like that. He told me that he had a whole bunch of these on display in his office, and he was going to add this one to it, and it sold for $15.99. Next up is a pair of shoes from Sperry. This was the top-sided maroon leather and snakeskin print anglefish boat shoes. They were size 8. They sold for $15, and I've had them for over 2 years. They definitely came out of a ThredUp rescue box because I will not pick up Sperry in the thrift store unless it's like new with tags or like a rain boot or something more substantial, because these little boat shoes, while they're super cute, they just do not sell well for me. Next up is a rainbow and blue dichroic glass pendant beaded cord necklace. I put the keywords pride, colorful, and fun, and it sold for $8. For the next sale, I had just picked up this item at the thrift store last month. I think it took me like a week or two to finally list it when I was ready, but it sold within a few days of me listing. It was the brand Alberto, and it was a braided, woven, blue, yellow, tan, and white stretch leather belt. It was a size 36. It was made in Italy, and it was a really nice quality feeling belt. And they're kind of expensive on their website. I think this particular belt went for like over $120. So I listed it appropriately, and I received an offer of $25, and I accepted. Next up is an Al Unser 1971 Indianapolis 500 winner. He was the #1 car, and it was a collector pin, and it sold for $10.25. And then the last item to sell was a pair of shoes from A New Day. This was the Penelope black faux leather square-toed heeled boots. They were a size 7.5, and this came out of my most recent ThredUp rescue box, which was last year at this point. And they sold for $15.99. So of my 9 eBay sales, I made $119.01. I made a shipping profit of $17.41. Fees were $33.03, giving me a profit of $103.39. My average sales price for each item that sold was $13.22. And now for my total numbers from September 1st through September 15th of 2024. I had a total of 16 sales. I made $237.71 in sales. Fees were $39.92. Cost of goods was $34.02, giving me a net profit of $163.77. And my average cost of goods for each item that sold was $2.13. Well, that concludes another What Sold video on my channel. I appreciate you tuning in and watching. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye!